Welcome back, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to On the Clock. I'm Jackson Reed, and of course, joined with Jordan Ziegler and Dylan Vanderveen. And fellas, they kind of always say that betting on college football is a lot like Russian roulette because you never know what could happen. And there's one person on this casting crew that learned that the hard way this week, going 0-3, Mr. Jordan Ziegler.
Yeah,
make sure to put again in that sentence.
The second time I went 0-3 in as many weeks. Or no, we've had 3 weeks, but 2 out of the 3 weeks I've gone 0-3 in the NCAA bets.
And there you go. There is a look at that scoreboard. Dylan at the top, 8-7. I'm right behind him, 7-6-2. And then there's Jordan, 6-9, going 2-4 last week. But we were pretty much 500 last week. Not terrible, but we can do better. And this week we've got some locks to get into. So let's kick it off. I'll start this week. I feel like I haven't started one, especially in college football. And I think I've got some good picks this week. I felt really good about the Oklahoma one because they just pummeled Nebraska. And I like watching Nebraska get absolutely demolished. And I was right. But anyway, we're going to kick it off this week with a gritty team going to another gritty team. That's Coastal Carolina money line against Georgia State. They're going to Georgia State. It's a 2.5-point spread in favor of Coastal Carolina. But I like the Chanticleers. They're a gritty team, like I said, on the road. Oh, well. Grayson McCall's a great quarterback. This team is 3-0 in tough games. Like, they're not blowing teams out. But I think you kind of want that in a game like this, especially in a 2.5-point spread, because you know what you're getting, and you know what you're getting with Coastal Carolina. And I like that. My next pick, Baylor, for whatever reason, is a 2.5-point underdog at Iowa State. So give me the Baylor Bears plus 2.5 as they take on Iowa State. They travel to Ames. If BYU would have lost in this game that you're seeing right now, if Baylor would have edged them in that game and won that game, this would be a 10-point spread. But the fact that the AP people and the odds makers see that Baylor has a loss, it makes things a little bit different, self-admittedly. But Dave Aranda's a better coach, in my opinion. Baylor is better, in my opinion. I like Baylor. I don't know why they're an underdog. Everyone is on upset alert this week. It feels like everyone thinks Iowa State is the team that can upset Baylor. I personally am not buying into that, so give me Baylor. I've entertained money line, but I'll stick with the points. If you're giving the points, you should probably just take them. But yeah, I'm going to take Baylor plus 2.5. And then lastly, Kentucky takes on Northern Illinois this week. Give me the under in that game. Kentucky's defense is really good. Archive pick 6. But, like, I hope that doesn't happen because that still result in points. But Kentucky's defense is great. They're number 14 in all of America in defensive efficiency. NIU's offense, not so great. They only scored 28 points against Vanderbilt. So let's go with the under. Let's cheer for defense. I like Kentucky in this game. I think they're going to win, obviously. But let's cheer for points here. Those are my 3 locks.
Yeah, I agree with those picks. I know all too well about that Nebraska and Oklahoma game.
Yep.
I tweeted out before the game that Nebraska was going to win. They clearly did not, and the Oklahoma football fan base found my Twitter. So that was a rough Sunday morning to deal with that. But, yeah, I'm not sleeping on Oklahoma anymore. But the first game I want to talk about is Texas goes into Texas Tech, a little bit of a rivalry game. Texas is really good. They only lost by 1 to Alabama, and the spread is 6 points. I have Texas covering that easily. Bijan Robinson has rushed for 311 yards in the first 3 games of the year. Texas, great offense. Texas Tech just got destroyed by NC State. I know because I took Texas Tech to cover, which they did not.
Not particularly good against the spread, Texas Tech.
Yeah,
this
Texas
year.
Tech
not off to a good start.
Has not covered the spread against an FBS team this year. So I'm going Texas -6. And then moving on to Oklahoma. I've learned from my mistakes.
He's back.
Kansas State is going to Oklahoma. Oklahoma is only favored by 13 points in that game at home, might I add. Kansas State just lost to Tulane at home. I mean, Tulane's what? They're 3-0, but they're not that good of a team. Oklahoma just routed Nebraska.
The green wave, baby. The green wave.
Dylan Gabriel has passed for 759 yards and has a 78.3% QBR this year. I mean, that's just really good quarterback play. Oklahoma bouncing back great this year after losing their head coach and starting quarterback last year. I think they handle Kansas State easily and cover that 13-point spread. And then finally, Arizona State travels to Utah. And I'm going to take the over in this game, 52 points. Both really good offenses and kind of mediocre defenses. Actually, Utah is 9th in total offense efficiency this year in the NCAA. They lost 1 close game to Florida. I think, honestly, Utah could put up 45 points on their own this game. Plus, Arizona's going to score some points. I know they just fired their head coach last week, but they're going to score at least 20. Utah's going to be in the upper 30s, low 40s at least for this game. So those are going to be my 3 NCAA locks, and hopefully at least one of them can hit, and I'll have a little bit better week than I did last week.
0 for 6 in 2 separate weeks, obviously. Not back-to-back, but 0 for 6. We're looking to turn that around. I do like that Utah pick, by the way. I feel like that game's going to have a ton.
I also like that Utah pick. As I go into mine, I'm a little bit better record than Ziggy does, so mine will be a little bit more important to listen to here.
Everyone has a better record than
I was going to say, he's in last for a reason.
Leading into that Utah game, I actually took a different route. The Utah game, I took Utah minus 14. Look, Utah is the number 14 team in the nation. ASU just fired Herm Edwards. I don't think they're going to have any bounce back weeks strictly from that. People were saying Nebraska could possibly do that, and that didn't work out very well for Nebraska. And I don't think it's going to work out any better for ASU here, so I'm going to take them minus 14. The next one I'm going to take is Auburn by 7. Look, Auburn was throttled last week by Penn State, 40-12, but I'm not really scared after that. It's tough to play. It's tough to play in Auburn. Penn State is a good team. They're going to be ranked inside the top 25 this year. So, and the switch from Finley to Robbie Ashford, I think that's going to do Auburn with a whole week. I think that's going to do them good. So I'm going to have Auburn by minus 7 that week. The last one I have is Ole Miss and Tulsa. I don't know why this game is so low. It's 62 points in this game. Tulsa, by far the #1 pass offense in the nation right now. Their quarterback with over 1,200 pass yards already this season in just 3 games. Look, Ole Miss has only given up 4.3 points a game, but they haven't really played anybody outside of Georgia Tech, and that's the best opponent they've played, and they beat them 42-0. So I don't think Ole Miss is going to have a huge problem with Tulsa, but I do think Tulsa will put 28, 30 points on the board, and I think Ole Miss will put upwards of 40. Tulsa's defense, again, not very good. Those are my 3 locks of the week. What you boys think?
It certainly feels like Ole Miss's defense is due for a letdown game, and that'd be good in your case because we need points, or well, not we, you need points. It definitely feels like they're not going to pitch that shutout again. But fellas, as much fun as it was talking about college, we'll make that step up to NFL right after the break.
Walking alone in a college town can be dangerous, no matter the time of day. Lawrence might seem like a small town, but there is still tons of crime that happens. You never know where and or when people are planning to attack, so it is better to be safe than sorry. Being by yourself is never the answer. That's why people should always walk within a buddy system. Having at least 3 people to walk with can help with getting home safer. Going out in a bigger group is definitely the way to go, so everyone can be assured they are safe. If walking home isn't an option, calling KU Safe Ride is the next best option, or ordering an Uber with your friends. Stay safe and always keep a buddy with you.
Hello and welcome back to On the Clock. Finally, we get to talk about the NFL, something I've actually done okay in.
Make sure to put out okay in
I have gone 2-1
okay.
both weeks in the NFL, so I have a positive 4-2 record on that front. Looking to keep the momentum. Maybe I can go 3-0 this week. We'll see. But to get it started, my first lock, the Chiefs travel to Indianapolis. I think the Colts are one of the most disappointing teams of the year so far, and the spread is only 6.5 points. I have the Chiefs winning that game by easily 13. The Chiefs have the 5th best offense in the league right now. The Colts have a pretty mediocre defense. Mahomes is already over 595 passing yards for the year with an 82.4 QBR on the season. The Chiefs are going to handle the Colts pretty easily. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, that might be a trap game,
It does feel very trappy. Indianapolis, week 3, when your team is riding a high, you just beat the Chargers. The Chiefs do have a long week. Like, they played on Thursday. They've had a while to prepare for this game. But it just feels trappy to me. I don't know. I'm saying
the Colts just aren't a good team.
It just feels like whatever.
The Colts are not a good football team this year. They're bad.
I get it.
Another thing you guys got to realize is Michael Pittman's not playing. So Michael Pittman is their offense. In week 1, he was their offense.
They have Jonathan Taylor. Badger for life, by the way.
They don't have an offensive line to block for Jonathan Taylor, though.
You can't hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor 30 times a game like they do with Derrick Henry in Tennessee.
I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I'm just saying I'm staying away. No, thank you.
Anyway, 6.5 Chiefs. It's going to smack. Moving on, Lions at Vikings. I have the Lions money line, plus 265.
Oh, here we go again.
2-0.
The plus 200 money line.
2-0 and plus 200 money lines this year. The Bears, the Cardinals.
Reed,
it's gonna be the Lions.
I'll let you take
next.
this one. The last time I was arguing with him on the money line.
Detroit has
the Lions are
a
scrappy team.
They have the
They're a
fourth
scrappy
ranked
football
offense in the NFL right now. And the Vikings have the 29th ranked defense.
They got exposed last night.
The Vikings are not good.
I will say that much.
Kirk Cousins
Jalen
is
Hurts
not
caught my
good.
attention
The
last night.
Lions are not a bad football team. They are going to hit it. Money line. Lock it in. Finally, Bills at Dolphins over 51.5 points.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, we have to play this highlight?
50.
No. No, why? Why? You got, yeah, okay. But
51.5 points for the third and fourth ranked offense in the NFL right now.
Yep.
Not to mention the Dolphins of the 21st ranked defense. Their defense is not that good.
No.
It looked good against the Patriots, who have a very lackluster offense this year, and really bad against the Ravens. And then the Bills are going to score 35-plus points every single game this year. I mean, their offense is electric. The Dolphins' offense is electric. This is going to be one of the most fun games of the year, I think. Honestly, it's going to be a shootout. But 51.5 points by a mile.
Easy, yeah.
I'd take it at
It's a
over
big
60
test.
points.
It's a big test for Tua this week, Lo. I mean, throwing 6 touchdowns last week, you're going to face the #1 defense in the league this week. So it's a huge test for Tua.
But yeah, those are going to be my 3 locks for the NFL. I'm feeling real good about them this week.
Now we go to the clubhouse leader, Dylan. Thoughts?
Clubhouse
not leading
leader.
by much.
I like that, how you say the clubhouse leader.
But after 3 weeks, there's so much that can change, bro. So much that can change.
The first round I'm going to go straight into it. It's going to be the Bucs and the Packers. Look, I'm going to take the Bucs 2.5. The Bucs are missing some weapons. They're missing Chris Godwin. They're missing Julio Jones, really what's left of Julio Jones, really, at this point. So they just picked up Cole Beasley. I think he'll mesh well with Tom Brady. Scotty Miller made a few mistakes in the passing game this week, so they look to a veteran wide receiver in free agency. And I think he'll mesh really well. And obviously Mike Evans suspended a game, but I still think Tom Brady will find a way to pull out the game. And really, honestly, Tom Brady probably still has better weapons than Aaron Rodgers does in his passing game right now, even without
I absolutely agree
even
with
with
you.
the
I don't think the
injuries
Packers'
and everything
receiving
that's
core is
going
really
on.
that bad, to
I
be
think
100%
it's
honest.
pretty
Oh, I think it's pretty bad.
Randall
it's
Cobb
pretty
is
bad.
a
Not the
perfectly
worst.
fine option. They have Sammy Watkins now.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, that's
Okay.
not. It's not as
Okay,
bad
that's
as
your-
everyone's
that's your
saying
number
it
3
is.
receiver.
That's all I'm saying.
All
What do you got
right, continue on. I got the Denver and San Francisco under.
Yep.
Look, Denver's offense has looked like they didn't even pick up Russell Wilson. Their
Well,
play
and
calling
San Francisco
with
makes
Hackett
plays
is,
like that. So
Yeah,
so,
I mean, with Hackett, I mean, it
looks
doesn't
good.
look like Denver's offense is even relevant. They only scored 16 points against Houston, was supposed to be one of the worst-ranked defenses in the league, who actually are playing well the last 2 weeks. But I just don't see San Francisco scoring more than 24 points with Jimmy G at the realm of the quarterback. There's nothing exciting there. He's a clock management quarterback, so I'm going to take the under at 45.5. And the last one, I'm going to go with an over. Detroit and Minnesota, I think they're 2 exciting offenses. Look, Detroit's secondary, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's awful. Jeff Okudah, he's been playing a little bit better this season after he's come back from injury, but other than that, it's been awful in their secondary. They've gotten torched by Jalen Hurts, who actually caught my attention this week. And then last week, really honestly, Carson Wentz was kind of throwing the ball around on him too. So I could definitely see Minnesota with Justin Jefferson just torch him for 150-plus yards. And the Detroit offense, they always seem to score at least 24, 28 points. So an over seam at 52.5 seems pretty reasonable there.
Yeah, I actually do like that Vikings-Lions over. It's a divisional game, and a lot of people are going to turn toward the under, but I actually do kind of like that. Offenses are good, defenses not so much. But I'll speed through my 3 real quick. I got the Eagles -4 at the Commanders, especially after last night. I really like the Eagles. I understand it's a divisional game, and they're going to play each other tight. But I like Philly. I like Jalen Hurts. I like their backfield, believe it or not. I never thought I'd say that about a Philadelphia Eagles backfield. But
Miles
actually, Miles Sanders is playing pretty good football right now. And the Commanders are not playing pretty good football. Eagles are dangerous. Commanders, not so great. I'm going to take the Eagles. I know they're on the road, all that, whatever. But next we're going to go to sunny Miami, some nice weather, some 2 good offenses. And you know what that means? Points, points, points. And that's what I've got. The over 51, like Jordan said, I would have probably taken this at 62.
Yeah.
This team, both of these teams, both of them have fantastic
62.
offenses, great weapons, a great quarterback on one side, an average quarterback on the other side. A lot of points. I'm happy with this pick. Jordan's got it too, which makes me a little scared. But I like it. I'm riding with you. And then I'm also riding with Dylan. I'm taking the Bucks -2.5. If you know me personally, there is no way I could ever bet against the Green Bay or bet on the Green Bay Packers. I'm just not going to. And plain and simple, one team's got Tom Brady and one team doesn't have Tom Brady. Who would you rather have?
Especially
you want
with
Tom
the
Brady.
wide receivers, absolutely.
The Packers wide receiver sucks. Receiver core,
It's
me,
not
sucks.
that bad.
It sucks.
It's really not.
Name the top weapon.
He hit it perfectly.
Randall
Dylan
Cobb
hit
or
it
Sammy
perfectly.
Watkins.
Randall
Dylan hit
Cobb's
it
like
perfectly.
47 years old.
Dylan hit it perfectly. The Bucks wide receiver core, depleted as it's ever been, is still better than what the Packers have right now. Absolutely. And I take the Bills team better. I like their defense better. I like the Bucks overall better. So give me the Bucks -2.5. Those are my 3 locks. And we've got 2 new guests appearing right after this break to talk a little bit of something different, so you don't have to hear 3 guys talking about football and quarter zips except for Dylan. They're going to talk about some baseball. So we'll be right back after the break.
National champions deserve a clean campus. Don't wait for other Jayhawks to pick up your mess. Keep the University of Kansas clean.
All right, welcome back to On the Clock. I'm Alex. I'm here with Andrew today. We're going to be talking about our postseason MLB picks. Right here we have, just starting off, this is if the postseason started today, but we're going to be telling you what we think and some kind of long shot picks. So, Andrew, what do you think we're going to see with the year?
So with the new postseason format, adding a wild card spot, I think there's much more room for chaos, and some of the favorites might not make it as far as we normally see them do. So
I agree. I love an underdog, so I'm really excited to see this and see what kind of interesting picks we get going in there. The Royals obviously are out of it, so no local teams that we can cheer for, but we'll see what else we're going to see this fall.
Yeah, so my first pick is a very long shot pick at plus 2,800, the Rays. I'm a huge believer in that pitching wins championships. They have 3 top-tier starters and then good veteran help in Corey Kluber, and then just a mediocre lineup, to say the least. Mm-hmm. But I think pitching will guide them far if they end up making it deep in the postseason.
I agree on this. My one thing with this is, do they have hitting?
The lineup's weak. It's going to have to come around a little bit, but pitching for sure
can
keep
win
it
a
in
game.
and then a few hits here and there.
String them together and we can get
String them together, you're there, yeah.
Next, also a very long shot pick, but I'm a little biased on this one. I'm really hoping for Milwaukee. We'll see. It's honestly such a long shot, but
they're a long shot to even make the playoffs. Like they still
agreed.
need to get in. They still need to get in.
I am preying on the Phillies' downfall on this one. The Phillies have been on a losing streak, so why not?
They should get their top 3 starters back soon. Like that should help them get there, and if they get into the postseason, that could push them far. So
for sure.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Next, we have the Braves, and I believe this was more on your call, and just the Braves are just a strong team in general.
Plus 800, I think that's really good value. I think they should be plus 500, plus 600. Great value with their Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Dansby Swanson, Acuna, just great young talent and an overall just really strong team. Strider has some of the best stuff in baseball, complements Max Fried really well. Overall, just a really good value pick if you like him to get past the Dodgers.
So for me, my strongest team, obviously right now the strongest team in baseball, Dodgers, they're killing it. I really don't know what else to say about it, but they are for sure the #1 team. Other than that, we'll see them against the Houston. We'll see them against the Astros, which could be a slight problem. I think the Dodgers have it.
Houston's
I think Dodgers have it for the World Series.
Personal favorite. I think they're the favorite to make it out of the AL. Obviously, Yankees have fallen off, but behind Justin Verlander, who's really turned into like the Tom Brady of the MLB, behind him a sub-2 ERA, and then some other solid starters, and just an overall great lineup. The best bullpen in baseball. Like, what more can you ask for? Like,
So what struggles do we think we're going to see with them and the Dodgers in the World Series, if that's what we're saying we think is going to be happening?
I mean, if that's the matchup, well, we know there's going to be a little bit of a rivalry there due to the Astros sign-stealing scandal from a few years ago, but I think that could cause a little bit of an emotional aspect to it from the Dodgers side because they feel robbed by the Astros. But I think it's going to come down to if Verlander can maintain his kind of unreal form he's in right now, and then if the Dodgers hitting can come around like it has all year.
I think the Dodgers offensively is going to kill Houston. That's my own opinion.
Past Verlander, they don't have a ton of postseason experience, so I can see
true.
that. It makes sense.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Other than that, pitching, I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty fair trade. On which team? What do you think?
Overall, I think both the pitching staffs are two of the best 5 in baseball. And yeah, that's it for today. I'm Andrew.
Okay, and I'm Alex. Thank you guys so much for talking some baseball with us, and that's all we have this week.